Hi, Borkowski VGS. We're continuing our Bioshock Infinite Voxophone guide. This is for Soldier's Field. Now, there are 9 Voxophones in total. The first time you go through, you can only get 8 of them. The first one is in the very first area. When you go into here, it's going to be the left-hand side of the room, and that door can only be opened by Elizabeth. It requires, I believe, 5 lockpicks, and that will get you the first Voxophone. We're going to get Voxophones 22 through to 29 in this particular guide. Right, the second one is when you actually go into Soldier's Field, into the ice cream shop on the left-hand side. Zachary Comstock. Remember, if you steal anything, they'll all kill you. Number 3 is a little bit further on the bookstore, the far right-hand side of the map, before you see the kids playing with, what is it, the large-headed figures. Now we go to number 4. And now number 4 is past that. This is when we've already gone through this area and people are shooting at us. It's our first one with Cornelius Slate. And of course, you'll be shot at here on the second side. Number 5, excuse me. This is in, again, after you've had to fight a lot of people. You've already gone through past when they're angry on the left-hand side of the map. Still considered Soldier's Field because we haven't entered the Hall of Heroes just yet. It is number 5, and now we're going for number 6. Number 6 is in the bar area where you have to decode the Voxophones. You'll see one of the Voxophones here right beside this guy, and this is after you have decoded the Voxophone. You go into a secret area. Again, this whole section of Soldier's Field is past the point when you try and activate the First Lady's airship, and you have to continue past. So this is number 6. There we go, Daisy Fitzroy's. And again, the last one for this is right after you go on the rail here. So this is in the plaza before we actually go into the Hall of Heroes. We have the final one right over here, and that will be 22 to 29. Stay listening right now, and you can hear all those and check them to make sure you got them all. Enjoy.
Days at Comstock House was simple. Hard work, sure, but simple. Wringing the linen, scrubbing the floors. Lady Comstock, she even had a kind word now and then. Almost enough to make me think I had a place in their world. God made foolish girls so he could have something to play with.
And when I came to Washington, there were few in Congress who saw my vision for Columbia. But it is the burden of the prophet to bring the wicked to righteousness. For what am I, if not a mirror to reflect the face of God?
When I was a girl, I dreamt of standing in a room looking at a girl who was and was not myself, who stood looking at another girl who also was and was not myself. My mother took this for a nightmare. I saw it as the beginning of a career in physics.
I served 20 years of soldiering, and every heathen land I've known is less peopled for my passing. I hated no special enemy. Until now. Comstock. He's made a vaudeville travesty of my battles and cast himself as the White Knight. I called him out over it, and he stripped me of my rank. That man has never seen the savage face of war. But he will.
God makes all kinds of soldiers, but he only made one, Cornelius Slate. My father followed him up San Juan Hill, through the legations in Peking, and as he put it, through hell the order was given. At today's muster, Slate asked me if I was Sergeant Monroe's daughter. I said, "Sir, I am." Slate said, "Your father always wanted a son. I hope the fool has wisdom enough to recognize his good fortune."
Got a tip there were contraband guns hidden in the fellow traveler. Didn't find them, but funny thing, we found some old uniforms under the floorboards from the war. Took took guesses as to why they were there, but... Who's there? You're Slate, right? Sir? Put the guns down!
Did you hear that, Comstock? That is the sound you have never heard. The sound of a soldier's end. Come to your Hall of Heroes. Prove me a liar.
The one thing people need to learn is that fear is the antidote to fear. I don't want to be a part of their world. I don't want to be a part of their culture, their politics, their people. The sun is setting on their world, and soon enough, all they gonna see is the dark.
Veterans! You shed your heart's blood for Columbia, lost limb and viscera in the godless Orient. Comstock did nothing! And yet, look up! Whose image squats above you even now? At every angle and insult! If the prophet would make a painted whore of our past, what fresh rape does our future hold? Let us now make our stand and fill yonder hole with true heroes!